Hi there. It's July 20th, Saturday, and it's raining here in North Georgia. It's supposed to rain for the next 5 or 6 days. What a wonderful summer, huh? Keeps me from mowing the lawn, though, so be thankful for the little things that you have. So, today we're doing Proverbs 20. Let's jump over here, and we'll begin. Wine is a mocker, beer is a brawler, and whoever staggers because of them is not wise. Okay? Staggers means to get drunk. Okay? It says to let the poor drink beer to forget their misery for a while, but nowhere does it say to get drunk. Okay? You're not supposed to get drunk because you were out of your mind. Okay? And you're not wise. Not wise. Let's see, I'm looking over here. Led astray, led astray, led astray. The other one say led astray, but yeah. Verse 2, a king's terrible wrath is like the roaring of a lion. Anyone who provokes him endangers himself. Now, do you think Solomon was talking about himself here? I mean, he was the king, after all. So he could have been. 3, it is honorable for a man to resolve a dispute, but any fool can get himself into a quarrel or a fight. Right? It is honorable to dissolve a dispute. Says in other versions, it's avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Right. Now I could say, I'll be 65 this year. I can say I have never been in a fist fight. Okay. Partially because of fear. Okay, I don't want to get punched, and partially because I was able to talk my way out of it. You know, and it's honorable to avoid fights. Nobody wants. Some people just love fights. The fools that just love to fight. 4, the slacker does not plow during planting season. At harvest time he looks, and there is nothing. Yeah. And people don't work, and then they're surprised when their bank accounts are empty. Counsel is in a man's heart is deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. I always like that verse. Yes. You know, let's do this so I don't have to keep looking over here. Yeah, we'll leave the New Living Translation. Okay? So there's 2 versions. This is the over here is the one we're using is on the left, and that's the Holman Christian Standard. And I brought the New Living Translation up just to have another take on it. Okay? Don't want to have to keep looking at my printed Bible over here. Okay, we're on 5. And in the New Living, it says, though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Right. Somebody, I mean, there are people you can talk to that can draw these things out. A good counselor, okay? Okay, that's a person with understanding. There's nothing wrong with talking to a counselor, especially a Christian counselor, okay? I've talked to Christian counselors many times in my life. And they can draw these things out of you, okay? Good stuff. 6, many a man proclaims his own loyalty, but who can find a trustworthy man? Right. Over here it says, many say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? And you won't find out until you're in trouble, okay? and then you see who your real friends are. 7, the one who lives with integrity is righteous. His children who come after him will be happy. So we look this up. We look this up all the time, but I drive it home. The quality of being honest and having a strong moral principles. Right? Honest, strong moral principle. Unified, unimpaired, or sound in construction. Right. Sound moral principles. The one who lives with sound moral principles is righteous. That's a good one. And 8. A king sitting on a throne to judge sifts out all evil with his eyes. That's Holman talking about himself again, right? Who could say I have kept my heart pure? I am cleansed from my sin. You could say that for a while, right after you're cleansed from your sin, but you live in the world, and the world is dirty. You have to keep coming back to the source, right? 10, differing weights and varying measures both are detestable to the Lord. He says this in about every other chapter. And this is running absolutely rampant today. It's terrible. I mean, you can find videos of people weighing meat on differing weights and varying measures. There was somebody, they were at Walmart. They had a package of chicken, and the little tag said it weighed 4.36 pounds. Okay, net weight, not with the package, just the net weight was 4.36 pounds of chicken for a price of 4.36 pounds of chicken. She's in the self-checkout, and she puts it on the scale at the self-checkout. The scale says the entire package weighs 2.22 pounds, less than half of what they're advertising. Okay? And I hope she called a manager or something, but every package they tried weighed less than what they said. I saw another man filling up a 1 gallon, looked like a milk jug, 1 gallon milk jug at a gas station, so you could see the gas being poured into it. It was $3.76 a gallon was the stated price of the gas. Differing weights and measures. When he had gotten the container 3/4 of the way full, which means he didn't have a gallon, he had 3/4 of a gallon. There was still, almost half the container left. The price on the pump was up to $4.76. Right? And you don't think about it when you're pumping it into your tank, that maybe they're cheating you. Okay? It goes on. It's rampant. God finds these things detestable, and Solomon said it over and over again. You have to be careful. Okay, 11. Even a young man is known by his actions if his behavior is pure and upright. Now this is talking about children, okay? Like it says over, even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure and whether it is right. Children are, everybody's born with their own personality. Children are, you can tell when they're children if they are good kids or not good kids, okay, by the way they act, by their behavior. If they're mean, if they punch other kids, if they steal their toys and stuff, those are children who need some extra discipline. Okay? But you can tell good kids and young kids and teenagers by the way they act. You can tell, right? can tell their contact where they're going to be. 12, the hearing ear and the seeing eye. The Lord made them both. All right. The Lord made everything. Through Jesus, everything was made. 13, don't love sleep or you'll become poor. Open your eyes and you'll have enough to eat. Right? Keep your eyes open. It's worthless, the buyer says, but after he is on his way, he gloats. Right? That's an important one too. Yeah. The buyer haggles over the price, saying it's worthless, then brags about getting a bargain. I like the way that says it. All right, people do this all the time, especially if you're at like garage sales or buying a car from a private party or something. Talk about what a piece of junk it is, and to get a lesser price of it, and then you'll go away and tell your other friends, I took advantage of this person. I got such a great deal on this. It's worth $1,000, and I got it for $550. Ha ha ha. Okay, that's not a good thing. Okay. 15. There is gold in a multitude of jewels, but knowledgeable lips are a rare treasure. Right? The earth is full of gold and silver, money and things and jets and boats, but wise people are rare. They are the treasure. You find a wise person, you can learn from that wise person. Okay? Like it says in the New Living, wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies. 16. Take his garment, for he has put up security for a stranger. Get collateral, for it is for foreigners. Right? Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt and get a deposit. Right? Solomon said in almost every other chapter, never co-sign for somebody else's loan. Okay, just don't do it. And this says if you do, get a collateral. Okay. Well, somebody, man, I really need this car to get back and forth to work. My car is kind of shaky. Can you help me out and sign for me? No, sorry. But if he's your friend, if you want to help him, you can say, I will co-sign your loan, but you have to give me something to hold while it's collateral until the loan's paid off. You have to give me your motorcycle with the title, okay, or your lawnmower, or something valuable. And when it's paid off, I'll give it back to you. If it's not paid, if you don't pay it off, and I have to pay it off, I'm going to sell this item to get my money back. Okay? Better off if you just don't do it. Okay? 17. Food gained by fraud is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth is full of gravel. Okay? It seems good at the time, but afterward it's just, you can't live with the guilt of having stolen something. Always looking over your shoulder, right? 18. Finalize plans with counsel and wage war with sound guidance. Right. Plans succeed through good counsel, it says over here. Finalize. Yeah, you always want to make plans. You don't want to go to war without making plans, right? I'm taking out these highlights because... Okay, 19. The one who reveals secrets is a constant gossip. Avoid someone with a big mouth. I like that. Gossip goes around telling secrets, so don't hang around with chatterers. Okay? He talks about this in about every other chapter too, Solomon does. Gossip is the worst thing. God hates it. It's one of the top things that he hates worse than anything and finds it detestable. Gossip breaks up close friends. It breaks up churches. It tears apart congregations. It tears apart families for no reason other than somebody wants to make themselves feel more important. If somebody comes to you and says, I have this problem, please don't tell anybody, can you pray for me? And you go out and tell someone, did you hear Bob had so-and-so? It's going to get back to that person. And you lost a friend. And then everybody in the church is talking about it. And lots of people lose friends, okay? Avoid those kind of people. You know who those people are that are always around telling gossip and telling secrets and putting stuff on the internet and social media. Stay away from those people. Okay? And if somebody comes up to you, did you hear what happened to? No, stop. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it. If that person wants to tell me themselves in confidence, they can tell me, and I will keep their confidence, but I don't want to hear it from you. Okay? It sounds rough, and that person may go away. Well, let them. Okay? And quote some verses in Proverbs about gossip and what a horrible thing it is. Verse 20, whoever curses his father or mother, his lamp will go out in deep darkness. Okay? It's like number 5, I think, in 10 Commandments. Honor your father and mother. Okay? One of the main commandments. Okay? If it wasn't important, you wouldn't have put it as one of the main commandments. You need to honor your father and mother, always, no matter what, because they are your father and your mother. An inheritance gained prematurely will not be blessed ultimately. This is very true. Okay? I have known people personally that have gotten large inheritances from their parents when they were deceased. Their parents had spent 70 years saving and scrimping and living wisely and leaving it to their kids. In this instance, there was 3 children, and their parents were not rich. Okay, they had about a $1.5 million estate after saving and scrimping for 70 years of marriage. So each of the 3 children ended up getting about $325,000 or $350,000. Okay, and they were in their 40s and 50s, and they could have easily put that away and been comfortable for the rest of their lives, living wisely. But 2 of the 3 went out and spent it. Okay, big cars and big houses like they won the lottery. Within a year, they were broke and in worse shape because now they had a big house payment and a big, it won't be blessed ultimately. Okay, one person did put it away, scrimped and saved, and probably still has it today. This is many years ago. So, yeah. An inheritance gained prematurely will not be blessed ultimately. And if you're parents, and if you are parents to somebody and you have a will, you can put your money in trust and give them a certain amount. If you're leaving your children, $500,000, you can give them $50,000 a year for 10 years. Okay? And that will force them to be more prudent with your money. Okay? Instead of blowing it all and being in worse shape than they were. But, okay, we've talked about that enough. 22, don't say, I will avenge this evil. Wait on the Lord, and he will rescue you. Never say, I'll get even. Okay? I'll get even for this wrong. Wait for God to handle the matter. It's not your place. If somebody does you a terrible wrong and you get even with them, you have now done a terrible wrong and sinned as well. Don't bring yourself down to their level. That's hard sometimes, but don't. 23, again, differing weights are detestable to the Lord. Dishonest scales are unfair. And we talked about that. We won't talk about that more. 24, a man's steps are determined by the Lord, so how can anyone understand his own way? Right? If you're following the Lord, he's directing your steps. And you don't know where the Lord's going. Yeah? All you can do is follow. Just follow. 25, it is a trap for anyone to dedicate something rashly and later to reconsider his vows. Yeah. Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. Okay. These people, you're in trouble. Okay. Lord, I'm in trouble. If you get me out of this, I will give you 50% of my income for the rest of my life. I swear. Oh, God, help me. And then you get out of that, and then later on you're going, wait a minute, I can't afford to give 50% of my income away for the rest of my life. Okay? You have to count that cost first. It goes on a lot. And it's a trap. Satan puts you into those positions so you make these false promises that you can't keep, right? Hoping that you'll turn away. Right? We talked about that, so let's highlight it. 26, a wise king separates out the wicked and drives the threshing wheel over them. Wow. Yeah. 27, the Lord's lamp sheds a light on a person's life, searching the innermost part. Okay, and this is human spirit. Okay, and it says breath. It says human spirit over here. Okay, and I like that better because, I mean, what does it say over the other versions? I have 4 versions over here, so human spirit, the spirit of a man, spirit of a man. See, all the other versions say the human spirit, and you got to remember, we are created in God's image. Okay. And God is Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Okay, we are body, soul, human spirit. We have 3 parts, just like God has 3 parts. Okay. And the Lord's light penetrates the human spirit. Okay, the human spirit is God's searchlight into your being. Okay, searches your innermost parts. And they talk about the human spirit, but they don't talk about it enough, you know? Because every human has a human spirit. And sometimes that's the thing that drives you on. It can be seen, okay, in certain scientific circles. Some you know, some scientists call it an aura, that humans have an aura that actually lights under certain kinds of camera lenses. You can see the aura, the light in the human spirit. Interesting stuff. Would be a very deep study to go into. 28, loyalty and faithfulness deliver a king. Through loyalty, he maintains his throne. As Solomon talked about himself again, right? Loyalty. 29, the glory of men's is their strength, and the splendor of old men is gray hair. I'm fast getting gray hair, okay. Yeah. Strength is leaving, I'll tell you that. That's true. It says over here, gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. And 30, lashes and wounds purge away evil, and beatings cleanse the innermost parts. Physical punishment cleanses away evil, right? You spank your kids, they're not going to do that again, okay? Takes the evil away. So there you go, that's Proverbs 20. See what we highlighted. I'll turn this off. Okay. Wine is a mocker, beer is a brawler. Whoever staggers because of them is not wise. Drunk. Somebody said, led astray. Okay. If you're drunk, you are not in control of yourself. And that is not wise. I highlighted 3. It is honorable for a man to resolve a dispute, but any fool can get himself into a quarrel or a fight. Right? If you can get out of a fight, that's honorable. Okay? It's not, oh, you're a chicken, you're going to lose. No, it's honorable to get out of a fight. I don't like fighting. 5. Counsel in a man's heart is deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. Okay. Your problem, if you have problems and you have issues, they're down in there. Your problems are down in there. And a wise counselor can draw those out. And it's important to draw them out and deal with them. If you have issues, find a counselor. Talk to your pastor. Okay? They are trained in counseling. And he can point you to a good Christian counselor that is trained in that. Okay? You can deal with this stuff. Okay? And you can find forgiveness, and right, you can give it over to the Lord, but first you have to know what it is. Okay? Deep stuff, right? And we talked about this, differing weights and varying measures. He mentions it twice in this chapter. Both are detestable to the Lord. And it's worthless, says the buyer, but afterward goes on his way. He gloats to somebody else. Okay. What are you doing? You're lying. Okay, you were lying, and that's a sin. You were lying to this person, telling him, this thing's a piece of junk. It's not in very good shape. I'll give you this for it, even though you're asking 100. I'll give you 50 just to take it off your hands. You're lying, and you're sinning because you know that's worth more than that. Okay. Sinning. We'll highlight at 19. The one who reveals secrets is a constant gossip. Avoid someone with a big mouth. Right? Stay away from gossip. Gossip is telling somebody else's private secrets that they don't want told. Okay? And it's wrong on every level. And he talks about it so much, and God talks about it so much because it goes on even in the church, even between the brethren and the congregation, and it needs to stop. You have to have a big problem with gossip. Right? And we're trained to think it's okay because it's all over the TV and it's all over the internet. Mm-hmm. Some people make their living off of gossip, off of revealing other people's secrets. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this at depth. An inheritance gained prematurely will not be blessed ultimately. Mm-hmm. Look at the prodigal son. And people do that today. They spend it on riotous living, and then they end up dead, poor, broke. Worse than they were before. Highlighted 22. Don't say, I will avenge this evil. Don't say, I'll get even. Right? Wait on the Lord, and he will rescue you. Getting even is doing evil to somebody just like they did evil to you. And if you look at the evil they did to you as a sin and an offense, and you're going to commit that same offense, and that brings you right down to their level. Okay? It's not your job to get even. And 25. It's a trap for anyone to dedicate something rashly and later reconsider his vows. If you're in trouble, don't make promises to God. Okay? That's a vow. A promise to God that you can't keep. Okay? It's a trap. Satan loves that trap. Okay? 27. The Lord's lamp sheds light on a person's life, or a human spirit, searching the innermost parts. And we talked about the human spirit. So there you have it. That's Proverbs 20 for Saturday, July 20th. And we're just going to keep doing this because it's fun. All right. I may get new people listening. And you can see in our Through the Bible in a Year, we are reading the second 7 chapters of Hosea today. We read the first 7 yesterday. He was a minor prophet, and very interesting. Okay, very interesting. It's amazing how often God's people, Israel, fell and stopped following him and were sacrificing their own kids to Satan and prosecution and prostitution and false gods and they just rampantly. It's more amazing how every single time they came to the Lord in their trouble, He took them back every single time. Amazing. So, there you have it. That's today. We're going to keep doing this 24 times. This is the 11th time through it. All right. And I'm hoping to have most of this memorized by the 24th time and commit it to memory, know it in my heart, and hopefully be a wiser person. All right. Nobody can be truly wise. You can't know everything. Only God can know everything. But the more you know, the more blessed you'll be. So, and if you know where to look for the answers in the Bible, right, there's always hope. So, until later on, we're going to do Through the Bible in a Year. We'll see you later. Have a good day. Stay humble.